Hey guys, Fishmonger here. Figured with all the stuff going on between Elysium and Light's Hope, I'd throw an update video here on Fishmonger and what's going on with the vanilla fishing portion of it. I've actually made some updates to kind of tweak some of the things and just wanted to show you it fishing on the current live version of Light's Hope right now. So I have just downloaded version 2.025 Fishmonger, so I'm going to run that. So you'll be able to see everything from the beginning here. So basically I'm going to just hit next. It's noting where it's being installed to. The default location is just your program files directory. This folder should open up after the installation is complete, but if it doesn't, this is where you'll be able to find the actual program. Going to hit next. I hit next again. I don't need to read the quick start guide because I wrote the quick start guide. I'm now going to open up Fishmonger 2.025. First time it loads up, this is what we're going to get. And I have a locked version. So let's unlock this real quick just so I can kind of tweak some of the other things that's in here. So I'm going to click on get full version. This is my user ID number right now. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to email this to myself. Technically I didn't, but I'm going to. And I'm going to enter the unlock code that I just gave myself. And I'll hit that. And that is correct. I'll hit OK. Telling me everything's good. Got to close out Fishmonger and restart for those changes to take effect, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to completely close Fishmonger. Come back up and open it up again. And when I do that, I should now have the full version unlocked. And I'm actually good for 10 days here, which is plenty enough time to make a video. So let's do that up. So for fishing in Vanilla WoW, there's a advanced option here that you can select over the miscellaneous, and it's called Vanilla WoW Fishing Mode. You want to enable this. And what this does is it changes the way Fishmonger interacts with the Warcraft client, because in vanilla, fishing is much different than in the current live version, which is Legion. The timing is different. The buttons you actually click are different. There's no such thing as auto loot. I mean, there's a lot of different things that change the way the Fishmonger program actually needs to work. So by enabling this, it will say, oh, we're going to run vanilla, so let me modify my behavior to work better with vanilla. So I'm going to do that. I'm actually just going to adjust myself here. I'm standing over in Westfall right now. This is, a good place to test out some fishing. As far as the lighting and the color and everything in this mode, it's not really too critical. Because when you're in vanilla WoW fishing mode, Fishmonger is not looking for bobber movement. So this slider does absolutely nothing. It's basically just looking for color. So ideally, you want to be able to cast and have your bobber look fairly dark, which I'll be honest, in a lot of places in vanilla WoW, it looks pretty dark. Like there, it's really dark. Here, it's also really dark. Facing this direction, though, because the moon is up there. No, I guess not. But the reflection in the water is very bright going this direction. So I'm going to want to try to minimize that effect. So I'm either going to be looking straight or more towards this direction to try to darken my background. So the water itself is actually pretty dark, and also the bobber is pretty dark. So when you're in vanilla WoW mode, you're looking for a dark water and a dark bobber. If you have that, you should be good. So I'm going to throw out my search and my status window. I'm going to cast a couple of times just to kind of see where my bobber is going to land. Looks like I could bring this window up a hair. And cast a couple more times. You can see in the vanilla version, the casting animation, everything is much slower. And the interesting thing is in vanilla, whenever you cast your bobber, it always casts in a straight line, at least on Light's Hope. I'm pretty sure it does that in all vanilla clients. So this whole left-right search window, I don't need that. I mean, you could essentially adjust this so it goes to a very tall line there. for your searching area. That way you can kind of always get the bobber. But we need to come into here, and we're going to make some quick tweaks on the searching for the bobber. We're going to change the index delay, something a little bit lower, like 125, and I think we want to set the search index max to around 160. And I'll explain to you why we're going to do that in a second. Everything else is, you can just leave where they're at. Nothing really does anything in vanilla mode. Let's put autosave profile 1 on. That way every time I hit start fishing, it will automatically save. And the only other adjustment I'm going to make is with the color sensitivity, because that does affect the fishing. And I find a good middle-of-the-road place to be is around 60. So let's run with this a little bit. Oh, I'm going to bring my fishing speed down to 1, too. I might as well make it nice and fast. So let's run with this, and let's see how this works out in this initial test. So I've got a color sensitivity of 60, a fishing speed of 1. I have my delay set to 125, and a maximum number of search indexes at 160. And just to reiterate a couple of things while this is running, the search index delay, which you can see is noted here, of 125, is basically, it's 125 milliseconds is really what that stands for. And it's saying, all right, every 125 milliseconds, we want to look in the search window to see if we can find a bobber strike. That's really all that is. So if you had that to 500, it'd be 500 milliseconds, which is a half a second. And you'd be saying every half a second, look in the search window to see if it catches a fish. Setting it too fast will just make Fishmonger look an obscenely large amount of times inside that box, which does nothing. That's good. And then setting it too high will make it just search very slowly, which you could miss a catch. So a good middle ground for vanilla I found is just 125. So just trust me on that. And as far as the search index quantity or number goes, really all we're trying to do there is put in a number to make it so when the fishing bar that's down here gets to the end, it also reaches the timeout here. So in other words, 125 millisecond delay searched 160 times equates to roughly the total amount of fishing time that is in the bar down here. And like if I set a higher delay of 200, I'd actually want to adjust my search index to compensate for that, because ideally you want it so the search index number ends right when the end of the fishing bar is. So we're looking pretty good here. I mean, I've got 100% success rate. I've done 6 casts. I've caught 5 out of the 6th. I'm actually on the 6th cast right now. I'm getting some oily blackmouth, raw brilliant small fish, a whole bunch of other crap that I don't even know if it's worth some stuff. I'm sure it probably is. Actually, I know that if I fish this, if I cook it, I can sell it for a pretty good amount to people who are trying to level their for me, if I was trying to level my my cooking and stuff, that's good. But also people would buy it for buffs and everything like that. Not much necessarily in the lower levels, but you'd be surprised. In vanilla, a lot of that lower level fish, a lot of people want to level cooking, and a lot of people don't feel like going around and hunting animals to level up their cooking. Using fishing to level up your cooking is an extremely easy and efficient way to do it, especially if you run something like Fishmonger that does all the fishing for you. I've made a pretty good amount of gold on a couple other servers selling cooking kits, basically for new characters who there are people who roll new characters that want to level up their cooking that don't necessarily care about money. They've got some gold, and they'll buy some fishing kits for like 5 gold, 10 gold, or whatever the going price is for the level they're looking for. It saves people a ton of time, and they'll pay for the convenience of having to do that. So this is pretty much where I'm going to end the video off here. You got any questions? Feel free to email me, wowfishmonger@yahoo.com. If you have any questions about what you're seeing here, you can throw some comments down in the bottom. I'll certainly see what I can do to help you out. And if anybody's got any questions, I know some people were asking about before about some of the mods and stuff I run in vanilla. Monkey Quest I like. This is just a little quest helper thing. Just kind of keeps track of a lot of stuff. Very easy to see. It automatically updates and everything like that. I've just always liked it. And then for my bags up here, I run Bagnon. Bagnon's been out forever. And obviously, they got a vanilla client. And it's just, you know, if you have to open up multiple bags, it gets so annoying after a while. Literally having all your bags condensed into one big bag, to me, is just so much easier. You save the trouble having to micromanage things around from bag to bag to bag. It's just, boom, plop them all in one thing and you're good to go. So, I'll be signing out. Catch you later.